All right, my friends, this is Steve with Real Progressives. Tonight, put that ego down. Egos are for losers. Tonight, we're going to talk about what we're losing every time egos get in the way of advancing the frickin' truth, advancing progress. I sat there as I turned in my parking badge at my once wonderful job that I used to enjoy very, very much. And, as I turned in my badge, I realized that wow, man, this was just a normal part of the month. The $200 for parking just left my bank account, went straight over there to the parking authority. I parked over there. I walked blocks and blocks to my office. I sat down in the cubicle. I did whatever I did. I got up. I walked back to my car and did it again. But today I realized that, oh my God, if I don't get to the parking place to turn in my badge, it's the end of the month. They're going to bill me another $200 and I don't have a job anymore. What do I do? And I started thinking, because that's what I do, I think. And I sat there in my car and I just kept pondering. I was like, son of a bitch, we've been at this for 3 years as Real Progressives. And I've been doing it for almost 10 years as just Steve Grumbine activist. What do we have to do to get people to stop being petty, to stop the worthlessness that comes with being an ego-driven asshole, and start realizing it doesn't matter if you knew it before or if you know it now. You got to grab hold of the truth about economics so that you can actually be useful. And again, I sat there and I thought to myself, son of a bitch, here I am, man. These contracts, they're good for 6 months, 2 years, a year, whatever. And it's only a matter of time. You get comfortable, you start, taking bills, you start doing things differently, thinking, hey, maybe I'm going to be all right. Maybe I can pretend like this isn't a contract job. Maybe I can pretend like this is forever. And you start making friends. You start thinking, maybe I got a little bit of security, but then you realize that truth is snatched right out from under your feet. And that's what many people have been doing, in their own lives. Or, they take shit for granted. They get full of themselves and they start thinking that everybody's got it okay because they got it okay. The sun shined on them that day, not realizing that any minute now, it could be them for nefarious reasons, for serious reasons, for not so serious reasons, because somebody just doesn't like you, whatever it is, And, I started thinking to myself, I've been fighting for a New Deal for a very, very long time. I talk about it constantly. I talk about it more than the Green Party does. I wish the Green Party talked more about their Green New Deal. And I wish they'd learn MMT, but they won't do that because they've got egos in there that think that they're right and they refuse to hear truth. But here I am. I'm saying to myself, who's looking out for the poor? Who's looking out for the people that are missing teeth, who have got cavities keeping them up all night? Nobody. The people that are supposedly activists are too busy running from this headline to that headline. The millennials are too busy seeing who can say the cooler Facebook post or who can say the coolest tweet or who can make the coolest Instagram meme. People aren't focused. And I mean, seriously, the cost of this is pain and suffering for people. Usually not the people doing the other shit. And I just sat there and I was like, Grumbine, you've been here before. You know how to do this. But I want to be real honest with you. I did take care of myself. I took massive amounts of school. I never passed up on an opportunity for a training course. I used to stack up certifications as long as my freaking name was. PMP, CCM, PCCD, PCSE, blah, 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 blah. And, here we are. 2 master's degrees, an MBA, a Master of Science, Technology Management, a certificate in Strategic Management of Technology and Innovation, an undergrad certificate in IT Project Management. And I'm looking. It doesn't mean that I'm forever going to be out of work, but maybe it does, because I really don't have that much control over this, do I? I mean, I did what I could. I'm re-enrolled in some refresher courses to refresh my project management professional certification. And I'm also in the process of trying to get not only portfolio management certified, but also trying to get the IDLE certification. And I don't know, we'll see. I'm thinking about getting black belt, Six Sigma black belt, for those of you who know what I'm talking about even. But I'm telling you this stuff not to blow your mind with credentials and stupid shit like that. I'm really telling you this because it's just to tell you that there's nobody really safe in this environment. Now, you could be jacked up with credentials out the wazoo. And this entire market is based on scarcity. It's based on a small number of jobs for a large number of people wanting a job, and then pushing people that can't get the jobs they're qualified for into lower paying, lower level jobs that make them want to tear their eyeballs out and sit on a hand grenade. And then the rest of the people that could have filled those jobs that it would have been a great job for are pushed down another rung. And then eventually they're pushed completely out. As the musical chairs go round and round, they end up laying there on the ground. They have no chair to sit on and they are done. And, and I could tell the story countless times. I could tell it countless times. And people would still go off and talk about stupid conspiracies that are literally stupid as fuck. Now, I'm sitting there saying, I don't give a shit about the Rothschilds. I really don't. Fuck you and your Rothschilds. I care about regular people eating. And because I took the time to not listen to Tales from the Fire Pit and learn how this shit works for real, yeah, I get a little bit pissed off when I see people sucking down on stupid. When I see them listening to live streams and listening to prognosticators that refuse to do the hard work and learn economics, and they sit there and spin yards and tell people this stuff, and it sidelines them. And there we are suffering more because we didn't have the tools to actually fight back. We skipped the tools for the easier, softer way of just peddling some story that made us feel, yeah, I'm edgy and cool. But the cost of that is people are going to be out of work. The cost of that is families are going to break up, because the number one thing that breaks families up is financial stress. And you can blame the people that push these conspiracies around and sideline a movement from fighting for a New Deal. You can look them in the eye and know that they did this to you and your family. I know I do, because we're the resistance, right? We can't look at the establishment as the resistance. They're the ones doing it. So we got to look at our own. It's like if you were on a baseball team and your shortstop's sitting there picking his ass and picking his teeth when a ground ball comes right to him. He's like, oh shit, I was too worried about the booger in my nose. I couldn't focus on the baseball. That's what this shit is. I don't care what party you're in. It's about pressure. It's about pressure upward, because the only thing they can't handle is an unrepentant, absolutely full of knowledge, demanding populace, demanding to be served. And the way we are now, guys like me, maybe I land another job. But you know what? I'm qualified to be freaking a lot of things other than what I'll end up getting. I really am. And I know I am. I know what I'm worth, and I know what I can do. I don't know about you. You may have great skills. You may have great credentials. You may be ready to rock the world. But when you live in small town America, because of the way we've set this fucking economy up and the way we've allowed people to sideline us from actually being effective, guys like me will probably end up screwed. My family, my son who's got autism and everything else, would just be fucked, just screwed. It really is about ego. I come to a debate sometimes and I just don't even have time for it half the time. I get so frustrated because I'm like, you should know better than this. Would you think there's some scarcity of paper? Would you think they couldn't keystroke more dollars into the fucking bank accounts? Where do you think the 700 plus billion came from the military? Why in the world are you not fighting for you and I? Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? And I want to shake people. I want to shake them. Why aren't you doing? Why are you letting us suffer? You're a combatant in this war. Why are you not helping us here? Why are you sitting there looking at these stupid global research CA nonsense articles that sideline an entire movement? Why are you doing that? Yeah, and I get pissed. Wouldn't you? I mean, think about it. Wouldn't you? The truth is right there, but it's more salacious, more exciting, more tantalizing, more spicy on the lips to make it a James Bond novel. Hang out with the cool kids talking about the edgy conspiracy bullshit instead of freaking banding together and demanding that we get served. My son, my firstborn biological son, just enlisted in the military the other night. He went to boot camp. And man, oh man, that broke my heart. Tore me apart, ate me alive, ate me for lunch. And I'm still suffering through that, feeling it, wondering if he's going to be okay. But you know what? He didn't have a lot of options. He for whatever reason, things just didn't click for him. And so he decided he was going to join the military and turn his life around in whatever fashion that is. Now I'm sitting there saying, we need a goddamn job guarantee to stop our young people from joining the military. But horrible people will tell you that automation's here. We don't need a job guarantee. You watch your kids go off to the military. Can't get out of our own way. Can't learn. Can't be bothered to learn the facts about economics. Can't be bothered to learn it. They just like saying things. Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm real angry. Goddamn right, I'm angry. You know, I look at the alternative media and I'm like, how could you let us suffer like this? You're supposed to be in the war with us. But no, they're off chasing rabbits and likes and clicks. They're out there seeing who can be more salacious, who can talk about some other activist in their live streams, who can talk shit about who. That's the shit they're doing. And people lap that shit up. It's like, what the fuck? No wonder. No wonder. No fucking wonder. I sat there yesterday at the feeding clinic where my son gets taught how to eat food. My son can't feed himself. He can't eat anything. I give him mush. I give him oatmeal. I give him prunes. He's finally putting veggie sticks in his mouth. He can't bite on them. He can't quite figure out what teeth are for yet. I was talking to them. They were like, yeah, you know, he's getting ready to turn 3. And when 3 hits, they get out of early intervention. Then they're into that intermediate phase now. And they're like, yeah, there's just not as much funding as we need, is there? And my blood pressure went up. You could have seen a vein poking out on my forehead. And I started thinking about every fucking asshole in this movement that sidelines us with stupid conspiracies and refuses to fight. And I looked over at my son and I felt like anger that you can't imagine. An anger so freaking severe. And all I could think about was, son, I swear to God, if I have anything to say about it, I'm going to get you everything you need. To hell with these conspiracy fuckers. To hell with them. And I'm telling you right now, people don't take this seriously enough. Have you ever sat there with a cavity, a hardcore cavity, because you couldn't afford the dentist? You sit there and you brush it and you go to the store, you get yourself a temporary filling, keep hoping you can pack it and bypass it and save that tooth just a little bit longer until you can somehow or another stumble into some money. So you can stumble into some money to get your tooth fixed. You ever had that happen? Let me tell you something. I have. And I sit there and I think, damn, this hurts. Fuck, this hurts. Son of a bitch, this hurts. And then I look over and I'm looking around for who's talking about New Deal, who's talking about getting us health care, who's talking about getting us dental care. And I realize I'm looking around there like, hey, man, did you see that thing about Donald Trump's come over? Oh, what about the Russians? Russians, Trump. I get so fucking angry. And I think to myself, my God, they want to tear the system down, but they don't have enough people to freaking bring down a... Who the fuck are they kidding? They don't care. They've talked themselves out of being useful. They don't care. And they go to listen to these alternative media people that tell them it's all hopeless, and it fans their fears, and it gives them some sort of little weird, sick tribal group that lets them all feel hopeless together. It's like the hopeless society. And I think to myself, if I join them, then fuck it, right? Everything's hopeless. Let's just go fucking die. It's all hopeless. I say, fuck that. I'm better than that. I refuse to be that way. I'm not a loser. I won't be a loser. No matter how bad it goes, I refuse. And then I look back at my son and I realize that there is only one way to do this, and that is fight like hell right through all the bullshit. The establishment would be real easy to target if the team players on your team were focused on them too. Now, I feel sometimes within the MMT community like King Leonidas and the Spartans fighting off the Persians, because my God, are we fighting each other, or are we fighting some establishment? Are we fighting Xerxes? No, don't look at him. He said he said that he was going to vote for so-and-so. We got a green enter. We got a this enter. We got a that enter. We can't do that enter. I'm not voting enter. I'm not doing this enter. I'm not. And after a while, you go, well, shit, no wonder nothing's getting done. You know, they rigged the fuck out of the primaries, and now we know the story. We figured it out. Not that we didn't know some of it, but that we figured it out. They're a private corporation. They set the rules of their corporation. And now we got to realize that the only way to fix that is to really, really, really apply pressure outside the party system and force these sons of bitches to serve us. You go ahead and vote. I'll vote. I'm voting. I don't know who I'm voting for, but I'll vote. Just because I don't want to be the asshole that says I didn't vote. But I know deep down, the only way this changes is if we en masse demand it. En masse. In my gut, in my core, in my heart, I know this is possible. I know we can win. No one person can win. But we, as people, not as parties, not as partisans, not as fear porn peddlers, and not as people that are sitting there sharing garbage from Global Research CA, but we, the people, fighting for our children. That's it. Again, my loyalty is to my son, to my family. My loyalty is to those people who will fight with me and join with me. Those who do not, they're not my people. They're not my tribe. Because I need to fix this. I can't take it anymore. You can't take it anymore. But don't give up. The fight is real, and the fight is there for us to do. We can do it. We can guard the hot gates. We can make a wall of dead neoliberals, figuratively, in terms of knocking them down and winning them over one by one. Getting rid of neoliberalism and getting rid of the ideology that drives it. Getting rid of the false notion of scarcity and not allowing people that don't. If I can go And I'm not going to mention names, but trust me when I say this, I would be more than thrilled. Bring any one of these candidates, any one of them, bring any of your favorite leaders. I have an urge to destroy myths and legends and any lies when it comes to economics. I don't want to shame and embarrass them. I don't need to do it on live stream. I'll do it behind the scenes on a phone call. Because my goal is not to humiliate. My goal is to win. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of the egos getting in the way. I'm tired of people that don't know shit, thinking they know all. Full cups runneth over. Anything you pour in just goes onto the floor. It's useless because they refuse to humble themselves and learn. People say they want health care. Do they really? I don't know. I don't have the evidence that suggests they mean it. I don't have the evidence that suggests they understand that we can have free college. I don't think people understand the power of taking away the stronghold that neoliberals require by getting a federal job guarantee and what that would do to our propensity for war. People say, well, I'm not going to vote for any kind of thing like that unless we get rid of war. Well, guess what? You keep acting like, me caveman, me charge forward hard, instead of understanding the trick is not the frontal assault, but it's the end around. Job guarantee, what does that do for us? It eliminates the freaking high school to the military pipeline. What else does it do for us? It eliminates much of the money that goes to the top because people don't have to make payday loans. They're not stuck in really compromising positions. So they stop fattening the wallets of the wealthy because they're not taking out loans with interest. They have some money in their pocket. Use your head. Stop going for the full, it's got to be silly. It's got to be. End around. Use your head. We got to win this. We got to win this. Our lives are literally on the line. I'm not lying. I mean, I didn't sleep a wink 2 nights in a row. I can't take the medication that I normally take to go to sleep at night because I'm in the job hunt. 2 nights in a row, my insomnia has eaten me for lunch. I think that after a little bit of time, you start wondering, how many hours can somebody stay awake before they crash, right? I mean, I've gotten a few hours sleep here and there. But the reality is that it's nowhere near enough because I am stressed out of my mind. When I can't shut it down before I go to bed, my mind just keeps stirring and thinking. And then I read more, and then I learn more, and then I consider more, and then I want to take action. I want to take action. And I'm not one of these kooks, man. I'm not going to do crazy action. I want you all to join forces with me and our team and everyone else. And stop allowing these distractigons to keep pulling us into freaking bullshit. James Bond novels. James Bond's better left in the novel. Let's go ahead and do what we got to do in front of us. I'm telling you, it's the egos. People don't want to admit they don't know something, so they double down on stupid just to protect their ego, their fragile, precious ego. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, I got a message from the daycare today. One of the therapists went out there to see my son, and they were so excited because it sounded like he was saying their name. It sounded like he was saying, "Hi, so-and-so." They couldn't quite make it out, but it seemed like it. He's going to be 3 in September. He's going to be 3, and he's still not really saying words yet. Can't really eat. does a lot of sensory stuff, puts stuff in front of his eyes like this. If the car stops, he cries hysterically. If you touch him at the wrong time, he throws himself on the ground, busts his head, has a tantrum. It's not like the terrible twos. It's different. It requires help. It requires people that know how to deal with that stuff. Because these little guys, they're frustrated. They don't know how to communicate. And that takes money. Which means your conspiracies and stuff like that about the Federal Reserve need to go the fuck away. Go away. My son needs real people with real minds doing real thoughts and real things to fix things, not sit there and mouth off about things beyond their understanding. They need to learn. There's no harm in being ignorant. There's only a harm in doubling down on stupid. The information's there. There's no excuses. There is really no excuses. Nobody gets mad at people for asking legitimate questions ever. It's only the assholes that come in sauntering in like they've walked into a bar picking a fight. Yeah, go get an economics book, man. The only thing federal about the Federal Reserve is the name. Stupid. Stupid. The Federal Reserve and the Treasury have a consolidated balance sheet. They are one. They have been contracted. This whole thing was created by Congress. These stupid things go round. Oh, the U.S. was bankrupt. No, damn it, we weren't. 1934, I think it was, U.S. ran out of gold reserves and said, screw it, we're not using gold anymore. We're going to go with straight fiat for a while. And went back onto the gold standard under Bretton Woods, which was a global gold standard set to the dollar. And then in 71, we left that too. Now we're on a sovereign, free-floating fiat currency, and we can do anything we need to, anything we have resources to. We can solve every single one of these problems, every one of them. Poverty is a political choice. And the people that say they're fighting to end poverty, that want to balance the budget and reduce the deficit. Hello. That's austerity you're preaching, which directly creates poverty. I can't give you pats on the back anymore. I can't even give you a pass for not knowing these basics because it's laziness. Stuff is available for anyone. And if people aren't out there talking about it, well, shame the hell on you. Shame on you for not talking about it. You know, we've got people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whatever her politics turn out to be in the future. She put forward a lot of democratic socialist ideas. And you know what? Nobody knows how to defend how she's going to pay for it. Sometimes she gets the answer right. Sometimes she gets it wrong. She's testing the waters, I guess, to see what public opinion is, which is a politician's bullshit. I don't have to worry about that. I can just tell you the truth. And the truth is we can afford anything. You just got to want to do it. You just got to want to do it. You got to want to save lives more than you want to talk about James Bond. You got to care enough to get health care instead of talking about making George Soros fall in the shower or making the Rothschilds slip on a bar of soap or spiking some sort of poison in their Earl Grey. You got to want to do real things. You got to want to be useful. That's a choice. That's something you have control over. The war machine stops when we invest in green energy and force them to sustainable energy. The war for resources. It's not the war of the dollar, the petrodollar. The war of resources ends when we go to sustainable energy. It ends. All these things you want end with things that aren't straightforward. Caveman, me bashing wall. We end the school to military pipeline by instituting a federal job guarantee, by instituting free college, by instituting a New Deal, not onesie twosie programs that we kind of milk down the road the neoliberal way. Pay fors and only these people up to 100,000 crap. Citizens freaking benefits. Stop the mealy mouth crap. Stop the tyranny of low expectations. Go for the gusto because we need it. It's not just some want. It's a need. To put a bow on it, approximately $1.5 trillion in student loans is out there right now, weighing down people, and they cannot be discharged. Regular families suffering with that weight on their back. Think about that for a minute. When I got let go the other day from my job, my recruiter, who was very sweet to me, who had worked with me very, very closely for years, she says, Stephen, have you gone to the doctor yet? Your medical benefits will run out on the last day of the month. Have you gone to the doctor yet? I know that you have severe psoriatic arthritis and you need your injections. Have you taken care of that? So I rushed, got all my doctor stuff done, got my blood work done, got everything done. And my benefits will be gone tomorrow or next day, whatever, the 1st. 31st is the last day of having them. That's the world you leave us in when you don't fight for a New Deal. You can't expect them to fight for a New Deal for you because their purpose is to fatten the wallets of industries. No, it's up to us to demand it and really stay focused and keep demanding it, writing to the damn media, forcing these alternative media people to stop peddling bullshit and stay focused and really do something useful. I'm telling you, I'm more angry at the alternative media in our movement than just about anybody. Just about any. They don't know how to do economics, and damn it, they refuse to have the ones on that do. They're too cool for school, man. Their egos get in the way. Full of ego and nothing but. It's a goddamn shame. In my heart of hearts, I know we can do this. I know we can do this. I believe in us. I really do. Or I wouldn't keep doing it. Well, that's not true. I'd keep doing it anyway because I'd fight to my last breath because my son needs it. He doesn't have a voice, can't speak. I just need to see some action, man. I really need to think that people are fighting for us instead of talking some bullshit about, oh, this social media person is, and they're Soros spotting them. We really need to grow up and fight like hell for this. Because if it's not us, it ain't nobody. We're it. We're all we got. I'm Steve Crumbine with Real Progressives. I'm asking each and every one of you, stand up and fight. Have a good night, everybody.